Okay, so let's take a quick look at what's inside the Astro Pi kit, along with the filter and the Coral USB accelerator. Exciting stuff. So we'll just put these off to the side for a little bit and look at this initially. So inside here, we're going to have a nicely wrapped little package, a little bit of purple tissue paper, and we have one Raspberry Pi 4 Model B 4 GB. We'll open that in a moment. We have a HDMI to HDMI micro, one Raspberry Pi high quality camera, a Pi micro SD card and SD card adapter. This comes preloaded with the Flight OS. It's a 16 gigabyte card. So we'll put that off to the side. Scooch that over just a little bit. So inside of this, we're going to have a number of spare wires and pins for hooking up sensors. We also have the LED panel. Let's get a better gander at that. So if you're doing the life in space, this will be quite interactive. If you're doing a project that is life on Earth, then the sensor kit and the LED panel are not going to be that useful for you, because you're going to be focusing on the footage that can be obtained with the camera and lens. So let's put that off to the side since it won't be needed, nor will the PIR LED sensor. So also off to the side. And here is our power supply, and the EU power supply was sent out to most teams, if not all. So if you're in North America, you are best off actually getting a North American USB-C sensor, just so that things run as well as possible. But you can also use a Euro to USB adapter, because this does support 100 to 240 volts. So let's put that off to the side. Then finally, we have the lens assembly. So that's going to be being used with this. Okay, so the lens attaches to the camera module. Now, this allows you to focus at closer distances. We won't be using that right now. And then we unscrew the back of this. And that goes on to that. Now, I might be wrong about this, and this part might actually have to go there. We'll see how focused it is after. You know what? I'll just be on the safe side and place this. There, and for now, take off that. Now, I suspect that this is only going to do close focusing, and we'll have to remove that, but you know, easier to take that out later on than have to go fishing for it if we have this mounted. Now, there's a mounting hole there that will allow us to use a standard tripod for this also. Okay, so at this point, let's get the Pi out. go over what needs to be done to get this thing up and running. So there's a micro SD card that is in the SD card adapter. It comes preloaded. We will place that in like this. Now the Pi doesn't have a power switch. All that has to be done is that you power it up by plugging in the USB-C power while the power adapter is plugged in. It's best to leave it unattached otherwise. And the micro HDMI adapter plugs into either one of these. We'll plug it in here, and then we will be able to plug that into our HDMI device, either a screen or an HDMI to USB adapter. Okay, so the last things to do here are to connect in the camera cables. Let's do that. Don't want to damage it. Fold it over. Place it in with the blue. Oops, not the blue. My bad. With the silver facing the contacts, because that's where the contacts of the cable are. Blue facing the black. Make sure to lift this part up and out. In that goes. And like that, we should be good. Okay, so I'm going to unplug this, and I have off camera I modified a Raspberry Pi 3 case I had lying about. I made it so that this would fit in there. And you're also going to need to pass that through there. So I'm actually going to open that back up place. I might take the memory out there. There, that's in well. That's going to fit the memory now. It's in. Then we're going to have it so that this slips through here. Before they had the high quality cameras used to often be mounted through just right there. So that in. So blue side towards the black, silver to the connectors, and push that together. Do that so it holds the connectors flush. And at this point, we should be able to close off the case. Now the other thing that I dealt with quickly was I made a little attachment for our camera so that we can mount it onto there. But we won't worry about that for now. We'll look into tripods and such after. In the meantime, let's get out our Coral TPU unit. So, the Coral USB accelerator Edge TPU coprocessor is going to let our Raspberry Pi do tensor processing while it was not connected to the cloud. So this is a big step up from the amount of math that this can handle. This is going to just plug in USB-C on here, and then it's going to take up one of our ports. Let's see, is that USB? Yeah, that's a USB 3, and the Raspberry Pi 4 has two USB 3 ports. A little snug. That is extremely snug. Hang on. There we go. So, at our next point, we will be able to run some image capturing and actually also do some on-the-fly machine learning processing using the Coral TPU USB accelerator. Exciting stuff.
The next day.
The Raspberry Pi official USB-C North American, they say US, but it's really anywhere that has the 110 to 120 volts. So Japan, Canada, United States, Mexico. Anyways, you know your own power. This will be perfect for getting started with our Astro PiKit. Let's just do a quick gander at that. So just the same, USB-C, but has the standard plug, so we won't have to use any adapters to use that here in North America. Well, let's get this all plugged in and up and running.